if we look around, we got a few trees that are down, which would be excellent for some backstop for the for our shelter. If we were going to spend an extended amount of time out here, see, that would make for a good back wall. Of course, you got all that water that's sitting there. That's probably not a good thing. That would flood your camp, so you definitely wouldn't want that. But if you could find something like that someplace, you could easily drape some wood over that and then your tarp over that to make it to where that's a good sturdy shelter. And then you come off over here and you got that tree right down over there. You could brace logs up along it, have yourself a good sturdy A-frame shelter on that one. That'd be a nice way, or a nice place to rest and get your bearings, or even, you know, if you have to stay for an extended period of time, that'd be a good place for it. And you got all these puddles and stuff that are naturally getting water, so you could easily get water. Just got to get yourself some fire to boil the water, so that way you're not drinking in the bacteria and stuff, but at least you have a good source of fresh water. Footing isn't too bad. Like I said, it's pretty clear around here, so it's not hard to find a spot to where you need, if you need to find a spot to camp out till you can get somewhere better. But all in all, this is a decent place. You could do some really good surviving out here if you have to. I got bugs and stuff if you need to eat those to keep your protein and stuff up. Haven't really seen too many edible kind of plants around, but then again, this is Florida, so there are some, but not quite as many as you could get if you were, you know, in other areas. But like I said, certain times of the year, probably more than others, this is definitely a place that you could get, you know, the wildlife that you need to come through. I've been out here before and I've seen a few deer out here. Snakes, you know, definitely. Snakes are all over the place out here. If you get yourself a poisonous snake, you want to cut, you know, the head off at least, you know, about 3-4 inches behind the back of the head, so you get to make sure you get the poison gland out. But then you can just cook it up over a fire and you got yourself a good little meal there. And that'd be a good little thing right there for shelter. Just get it, clear out all that stuff, clear out them ferns. And if nothing else, you could always just get another log and drape down right off over here on this side, on this side of it, and you could have yourself a nice little A-frame shelter. And then the ground is nice and soft, so it's easy to dig into if you needed to stick some posta and to start, you know, building your shelters and everything. This would be a decent place. And like I said, they got ferns all over the place, so if your fire happened to die out, you could always pull some of those, you know, let them dry out. There's all kinds of them are dried out already. It wouldn't be hard to start a fire. Get yourself some logs that ain't saturated with water. And a lot of logs really ain't going to be saturated. They're going to be, the outside of them is going to be burnt or wet. So if you chop it in half, split it into quarters and stuff, you should be able to get to the dry stuff within it to where you can burn it a lot easier, and it'll catch on fire a lot easier, and it'll keep, you know, burning a little more. A lot of people have the assumption because a log's wet on the outside that it's going to be wet all the way through, but it takes a lot for a log to get soaked completely through to all the way into it. And if nothing else, you can split that log and shave the insides of it and get yourself some good material to start a fire with that. The only worry